Hello, first graders. Welcome to our science lesson for today. So yesterday we read this informational passage together about weather, right? And about the different kinds of weather. Now, the interesting thing that comes with this science passage is if I open up a different version of the book, you can actually see some videos of some of the different types of weather. So I thought today we could look at those different weather types and we could discuss them for a little bit so that you have a better understanding of what the different weather looks like. So we have this first page and we have this video right here. So if you notice, these boats are sailing out on the water. Now, what do we notice about right here, especially right here? What do we notice? Yeah, you can see the sail flapping, right? So what that tells you is there is some wind that is blowing. And a lot of times with sailboats, that's what makes the sailboats move, is the wind blowing on their sails to push them forward. That's why they have these sails all the way up and down, so that they can catch the wind to help them move. So that's an example of what wind would look like. Now on the next page, we have this picture of these two kids. Let's see what the video shows us. So what do you notice on the side of the video? Right, it is snowing. We have actually been able to see some of that from our classroom, right? Now, snow is what happens when the little water droplets in the air, and there are water droplets in the air, when they get cold and they freeze and they turn to ice. And it's not hard ice, it's just like kind of soft ice. But when we have that ice, it turns into snow. Now let's look at this one. It has a lot of dark clouds. If it will load. While it's thinking, I want you to think I want you to predict. We're going to predict because scientists do make predictions sometimes. I want you to predict what you think is going to happen in this video. There we go. Did you think you'd see rolling clouds? I don't know that I thought I was going to see rolling clouds. Look at that though. All those clouds and they're just coming together and just like, it's almost like they're making a super cloud, right? What kind of a cloud do you guys think this is? Do you think this is like a nice little fluffy cloud, or do you think this is a stormy cloud? I agree. I think it's a stormy cloud. Yes, definitely. All right, let's look at this one. Now here's another example of snow, except this one, the snow is coming down a lot faster, maybe a little bit harder, and it looks like it's sticking to the ground a little bit more. Now in the other one, we couldn't fully tell because we just saw out the window, but so snow can fall in different strengths and different speeds. Now this is an example of fog. And we sometimes see fog. We don't see fog like this. I will tell you that. This is like a ton of fog. Can you imagine walking through that big cloud of fog? Do you think do you think you'd be able to feel the softness of the cloud, or do you think you just wouldn't even feel it? I don't know. I've never walked through fog like that. I will be honest with you. Right here, you can see that grass moving just a little bit. That's how we know that there's a breeze. It's a little windy. And also, we're not looking directly at it because that would be bad for your eyes, but we can tell that the sun is shining up in the sky, and it doesn't look like there's really any clouds either. And then right here, now they've sped this up, you can tell, because all these boats are moving really fast. But you can see that the clouds moved in throughout the day as this video was taken, and it's just getting darker and darker because of those clouds. And I promise the boats are not moving that fast in real life. They sped up the footage so that we call this a time lapse. This way you can see what happens over a long period of time in a really short video clip. Now, there were a lot of clouds over here, and then for a minute, like there were none. Now we got a big thing of clouds coming again. Kind of interesting how clouds can move quickly in a huge group, and then next thing you know, there's not a lot of clouds. This one is an example of a thunder and lightning storm. Now, I gotta admit, when you don't have sound with the thunder and lightning storm, it's not that bad, right? I mean, it's actually kind of pretty. Also, it helps that we're not out in the storm, right? It's a lot prettier when we don't have to be outside in it. Now, this is an example of how loud rain can be. So you see, rain can actually make tons of sound just on its own with water droplets just coming down out of the sky. It again depends on how fast it's falling and how hard it's falling. And if you can tell, it's falling hard enough that it's like splashing up and making ripples off of the rain that's already on the ground. So there were just some instances and some examples of different types of weather. And keep these in mind as you are watching for the weather and putting it onto your calendar for your science lessons each day. I am super excited to see what you guys observed with your weather calendars when you come back on Monday. Have fun, guys.